Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo, and welcome to my scrapbook table. Hopefully, third time's a charm, and this recording actually works out. So it's time to scrap lift someone, and we are scraplifting Zelly. And I chose to focus on the black background with some color to it, and then the bright, bold colors around the photos. And something new for me today is I purchased some digital content from Tracy Reed Designs. It's her new collection called Our Story Matters. And I purchased it yesterday, downloaded it, and printed out some of the 4x6 and 3x4 cards. And so here are the photos I have. They were taken last month when we were on a cruise. And I combined the black cardstock and the Our Story Matters with a piece of Bo Bunny cardstock from 2011. So there are the cards that I printed, and here again is this. I liked these colors, and I looked for some paper with script on it, but I didn't have any black with script on it. So I chose to just do some stamping on the black and to focus that on the right hand side of the page. So I used 4 colors of Distress Oxide, something marigold, robin's egg, robin's nest, I don't know, speckled egg, worn lipstick, and Uncharted Mariner. That Uncharted Mariner is one of my favorite colors. And I just randomly put them on here. This is an old Stampin' Up! Map stamp. I took it off the wood block so that when I want to bend it and just use pieces of it and have them at random, I can do that. And really, there was no rhyme nor reason to where I put them. I just wanted them on there. And then I guessed at where the seam would be, and I tried to blur it a little bit, but it doesn't end up mattering because that spot right there is covered up. And same for the seam that's going to happen here at the bottom. So while it's not perfect, it ends up that it doesn't really matter. I really like how these oxides show up on black paper. Something really fun about that. And then since there's stray ink on the other side where I don't want it, I end up cutting the paper right down that line and piecing it back together. I just taped it on the back. And then I'm going to cover the seam with this copper ribbon. And I think about using that one, but there's no green in the collection. And I think the copper picks up nicely on the orange in the collection. And ultimately, you'll see later, it ends up getting switched out. Not because I didn't care for the copper, but yeah, you'll see what happens. So I just put it down, add a little bit of adhesive down the center, and then I used some strong glue dots on the back to get that where I wanted it to go. And I'm not sure what I'm doing right now. Yeah, here's the, I don't know what you call this, but I have 3 or 4 of them. I'm really trying to use them up, because I don't love them, but they do come in handy sometimes. I bought them at a yard sale, and so I use them especially when I have fabric or something like that. Now I'm going to distress the edges of this mat for the larger photo. This page, even though the photos were taken on a recent trip, the page isn't about the trip. The page is about scrapbooking. I went the obvious route with this collection, and I've seen wonderful creative ideas with it, and maybe I'll do something like that too soon. But I just decided to do a page about scrapbooking and what it means to me and why I enjoy it. And so here I decided I needed a small little black mat between the photo and that Bo Bunny print that's there. And so that Bo Bunny print uses up another one from my 100 pieces of patterned paper. So I can add that, put another tick mark on my chart where I'm keeping track. I chose to print the photos in black and white. I like that with the black background, and I think they stand out nicely in the black and white. No, that doesn't work because there's no green anywhere else on here. The colorful things add a great background for it. So this was a piece 4x6 that I cut in half, and I'm going to match up the seam there. And if you're looking closely in the end product, you can see the seam, but unless you're really looking for it, you wouldn't notice it, I don't think. I don't think anyone will pay any attention to that but me. So I just match the edges up, and then I trim off the extra to make it straight. And here's what I'm thinking. Cleaning up a little bit. I also have this wax seal that I had created a while ago. It matches the darker blue in the collection, or goes with it. I don't know that it matches, but they work well together. And I'm thinking about which of these cards I want to use. And I end up using the typewriter one and the camera one that you see there on the left. And I realized that the shelf I've created there, I feel like it's not big enough, not wide enough. So I'm going to cut a strip of the pattern, the same one that I matted the photo with. And I also add a strip of black. In the end, I probably could have done without the black, or I wish I had made it a little narrower than I did, kind of like the narrow one around my photo. Now, this layout took me a long time. Part of that was because I was overthinking things, but part of it was because I was doing other things too. I quit a few times in the middle to come up to the kitchen and do something toward dinner, and I just had to start and stop quite a bit, so the video is probably going to seem choppy, and I do apologize for that. But I don't know, I was overthinking things, and maybe because I was using something new, I wanted it to be just right, and like this is crooked, so I had to pause. I'm not sure when I do that here, but I end up pausing and measuring and fixing that because it was longer on one side than the other, and I couldn't figure out why, but I did get it fixed. That's when it comes in handy to have a grid on your workspace with those marks along it, because that helped me figure things out. Then I was deciding where I want the smaller photo. That's actually a photo of a pelican. I took that at, I might have already said that, but we were in Cozumel. That was our port for that day, and we just took a taxi to a local beach club and sat there and stared at the water, and it was lovely. I walked up and down the little stretch of beach there a little bit, and we both went down there so I could just wait, be patient, and get a good picture of this pelican, and I was really happy that I captured that. This has like a notebook edge supposed to be at the top, but I was not going to fussy cut that, so I just trimmed it off with my trimmer. I do fussy cut some of the 3x4 cards, and I cut most of that out. I don't have you watch it, but I used this camera. I actually cut this one into 2 pieces to separate the camera from the words because I want to use them both in 2 different sections of the layout. Now I'm adding the main photo, and here is where, or soon is where I decide to go ahead and fussy cut that one with the typewriter as well. It's just seeming too boxy to me, like everything's rectangles, and I wanted to change that. So I fussy cut it and I popped up the flowery part on Stampin' Dimensionals. And since I only have the mini ones, it was a lot of Stampin' Dimensionals. Now I have this scrap of the film strip, and I'm trimming out those pieces because I decided to make a little embellishment cluster in the very top right corner. I'm sorry, top left corner. And I have some labels and these, and that's where I end up putting my wax seal as well. Make sure you check out the other people participating in Scraplift Crafternoon today. There'll be a link in the description box below. And also the person we're scraplifting, Zelly, her information will be in that as well. So I decided, I knew I wanted some splatter on here, and I picked, I think it's peacock feathers. And that color worked out really well. I was really happy with that splatter. I love what these spritz, Distress Oxide spritzes do on dark cardstock. They are just so pretty. And so you have to really shake it because you want to make sure all of the sparkly stuff that settles to the bottom gets mixed into the liquid before you use it. So I am just, I should have gotten my splatter box out. I don't know why I didn't. But the glass mat cleans up pretty easily. And I was happy with the blue. And then I decided, hey, I have worn lipstick and I used worn lipstick ink. So let's add some of that. Here it is. It's really pretty color and I am not happy with that at all. And usually when I make a mistake like that, I decide to live with it. And I knew I could not just live with this. I was really unhappy with it. So I cut off all the cardstock splatter that I did not like. That's when the ribbon had to switch out, and I remembered this scrap of Stampin' Up! Ribbon that my demonstrator had given me. So I added that. It's perfect with the orange in this collection. And I just glued down the good parts that I wanted onto the new background. And I am so happy that I took the time to make that change. When I went ahead and I did spray, I think you'll be able to see it in the close-ups, that there's a little bit of splatter on there as well with the blue. I did do journaling. I ended up not being able to have that on camera. I forgot to turn my camera back on, but I just journaled a little bit in the box about what scrapbooking means to me and why I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you get to scrapbook something soon if you enjoy doing that. I hope you liked the video. I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. That would be great. Or if you make a comment, I'll be sure to reply. Have a great day. Here are the still shots. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.